Have you ever considered that maybe the best advertising a gym has locally is the thing that most CrossFitters hate to do the most? If you haven't guessed and you've been doing CrossFit for a long time, we're not runners. We are literally, CrossFit is everything but running with occasional runs. CrossFitters hate running, or at least the CrossFitters I know hate running. Some of them make the transition successfully into like high rocks and whatnot. But by and large, if they could run or row or bike or do box jumps or burpees, what else is there have I missed? Or do the ski machine. They're probably going to pick any of those before they go running. However, if people see your athletes out on the street running back and forth, it does signify that something is going on. People don't just see other people running and think, man, those people are running in a group in the same direction and nothing is happening. Sure, if you see one person or two look like they're on a jog, then they might be, but by and large, that's not the case. Sutherland brings this up, in this case in Alchemy, where he's talking about how a coffee shop had started, opened, and closed. Someone else moved into the same coffee shop, did the exact same thing, and it closed. And then a third person came into the same coffee shop and did one thing differently. And what they did was simple. They took some plastic, easily stolen chairs and put them outside the restaurant the cafe, when the cafe was open. And in doing so, they were able to effectively signal to the people who were going by that the restaurant was open. And that drew enough people in so that they were able to maintain their business. It's a simple signal. And sometimes the most effective advertising methods are the simplest ones. And they don't involve going through Meta or Google or getting a billboard. Sometimes it's as simple as being out in the community in a way that you are perceived as being present. Because if people don't know that you're there, there's no way that they're going to know that you're open. And if they don't know you're open, there's no way you can make any money and your business fails. And thus opening up the conversation around what creative ways can we advertise ourselves in our community. And there are more ways than that. Actually, there are significantly more ways than that. However, without knowing those ways, it becomes difficult to think outside the box to effectively market yourself in your context. The best two things I could think of off the top of my head are running and having people run around the community so other people see them, or doing things that are outside the gym. I know, again, Regenix was my home gym for the longest, and what I think about Regenix is great is they'll go to different beaches and do beach workouts. And in doing beach workouts, they make it so that people know that they're there. Every time they do that, it's a marketing opportunity. Simply being present is a marketing opportunity. In the same way that wearing scrubs says, hey, I can answer your medical questions. Though that may or may not be true, that's what comes across. And the second part, and this is chapter 3.8, he talks about this concept that bees do it. And I think that's a bit of a misnomer, primarily because of the way that he breaks down the argument is that the entity that is doing the advertisement in the context of bees is actually the flower. So when plants create their flowers, from Rory Sutherland's perspective, their flower is their advertising. The bees need the nectar. So healthier flowers indicate to the bees that there's healthier nectar there. When that happens, the bees can get into those flowers and they literally dance. It's like a kind of a jiggly shake thing, and they wiggle their butts. And that signals to the other bees that this is good, and it helps the other bees communicate that they go to this particular set of flowers to get the best nectar. And that, in a few ways, shows the advertising capability of the flower and it producing a product that is noteworthy, and the social proof that happens when the bees are communicating to other bees that this plant is good. Lastly, there was a concept, I forget the gentleman's name, but he brings him up in the book, where his This man had owned a business. It was a storefront, like most businesses. And his final words were to make sure that the store stay lit. And it all ties together, whether that be putting chairs outside so people know the cafe is open, whether that means making beautiful flowers so bees know to come to you, whether that means having people run outside your gym during the hours where people are going to see so they know that your gym is there. Keep the lights on so people know that you are there. That's the first step. If people don't know you're there, you're not going to sell anything. Point blank, period. Make yourself known. And if you're looking for other ways that you can make yourself known and to work out some of the intricacies of both the digital marketing and the day-to-day operations, you can give us a call or reach us at enochmarketing.com. We have Gym Recon, which is dropping in the next few days. We've got some feedback during the beta test, and one of the largest recurring things is, why is this different than a Wadify or a, what's it called, like a Sugar Wad? Sugar Wad and Wadify are tools to work in the gym. Gym Recon is something to use on the gym. One is a CRM where you can connect to people. One highlights your weaknesses, opportunities, strengths, and weaknesses. Did I say weaknesses twice? They're two different platforms, and they are meant to work together. One is to help you work in the business, one's to help you work on the business. And that's the difference. I'm going to be pitching that every day until we drop. Until then, I hope you have a great day. My name is Colin Charles. This is Enoch Marketing, and we will talk to you soon.